at that. Evans, when you look at, we've been having these particular conversations here and over again. I'm talking about the Gor Mahia troubles. The last time, they were playing against, was it Vihiga Bullets?
Yeah.
Yes, and they started the whole chaos. And the FKF caretaker committee said going to slap you the too much ban. So no games for the next 2 matches, and obviously the points come down. But then the sports tribunal said hold that particular suspension. Tomorrow's game will be playing. What do you think about that?
Well, Gor Mahia is a club that is very known for chaos. I think they have a recipe for chaos. I remember, if you can follow the history of Gor Mahia from 2013, 2014. In 2013, 2014, there was this clash with their fierce rivals, FC Leopards. Then I remember 2019, KCB versus Gor Mahia, of which they end up losing. Then there is the recent one in the African Confederation Cup about the Zambian side. I think the team is NAPSA. And now the recent one. This is just a few examples to mention that in matches that Gor Mahia have been involved in terms of chaos. So for me, the ban, they deserve to be disciplined in any way, just to restore. Football is a game that requires discipline. Without discipline, you can't enjoy the football. So even a too much ban it's just a slap on the wrist. They should be banned even for entire season, so that they can just learn some bit of discipline in any given football, because we cannot afford to see these kind of things that we see in Gor Mahia, chaotic fans. If they can't control their fans, then they should come up with mechanism to try and restrain their rowdy youth. Their rowdy fans because such kind of what we saw last time during Vihiga Bullet and Gor Mahia, the image that it's built, or rather the reputation that it's destroyed of a team like Gor Mahia, it's not good for a team that is chasing titles. It's not good.
Someone out there might probably say, this is I'm too loyal for this particular team.
Yeah.
This is too much loyalty, and I really need to fight for it.
No, it's not about loyalty, because when you look at what happened, it is fans that were fighting with the steward for simple reason. You're told, don't break the rules. You're not supposed to jump over the fence. If you don't have money to pay match ticket, just stay at home and follow the match, maybe through even television. But going there and causing chaos, and in the end, it's your club that is in the receiving end. It doesn't help. That's not loyalty. That is destroying. So for me, they deserve to be punished, to serve as a lesson for them and even other teams in the Premier League, so that they can know the repercussion and just how the magnitude of it, that's how big it is. You can't disrupt a match just based on, silly and simple mistakes. It can't work that way. So we need sanity. And by sanity, we mean like if any club, be it Gor Mahia, any club, they should be punished for their wrongdoing. And for me, when I heard about the ban, actually I welcome it wholeheartedly. Regardless,
right.
Because they deserve it to restore sanity.
This particular case is in court right now, and Gor Mahia went forward to say that we'll deal with this. It matters. We obviously can't talk about things that are in court, but then if you to probably for Gor Mahia, what next? This particular case that is in court.
Well, for me, I just think now that they have been allowed to play this match, so probably going forward we'll see Gor Mahia actually playing all of their remaining matches, and it will be like nothing just ever happened. And that is something that we should try to discourage, because if you did something, and you remember, you saw what they did to Kasarani. Actually, they broke some windows.
Yeah.
And Kasarani is a stadium that is used by not only by local teams, but even it hosts international matches. And when you destroy, that kind of I'll call it, there's this name, for lack of, better words, but it's hooliganism. It's not
It
good.
is. It is indeed a hooliganism. Kevin Benson, if you can hear me via Zoom, I think we do have you right now. If you can hear me, what is your take on this particular Kogalo troubles?
Hello, Stanley. Can you get me clearly?
I can definitely get you.
So we are talking of football hooliganism. This is something that we've seen in the recent past, and the same teams are being involved. You're talking of Gor Mahia, we are talking of Leopards, we are talking of the fans. For lack of a better term, like my friend has said, is call it hooliganism. It is hooliganism of the highest order, and these are skirmishes that should be condemned. Because football is a game that unites. We don't expect people to keep fighting. And remember, we are talking of that game against Vihiga. Was it Vihiga Bullets?
Yes, it was Vihiga Bullets.
We are talking of a game that had to be abandoned even before full time. Kogalo had managed to get the lead. You remember they had a 1-0 goal advantage in the first half before that happened. And then we are talking of the punishment. They are only talking of a two match ban, I think. And they said that this matter, it will be subjected to further disciplinary action. So it is a high time the Kenyan society or the Kenyan football decides to change, because we can't talk of violence, because talk of violence are skirmishes that leave people injured, the fans. So I am condemning this act in the strongest words possible.
What will you probably, if you're with the FKF caretaker committee, the disciplinary actions, according to you, what do you think should be done to Gor Mahia?
I think in as much as they might try to say that they will play in empty stadiums, that alone is not enough, because we will see them still continue with this act of hooliganism. So I think the fine, or rather what should happen, is that the repercussions that they are to face should be great. They should not be just something that is very light, something that they can get away with. So we are talking of maybe fining the team, or even deducting points from them, in as much as this should be in line with the FIFA rules. So I think if I want...
Yes, and right now, Gor Mahia number 2, they're celebrating. Remember back then when we were starting, actually this year, we were talking here and we were saying, what is happening to Gor Mahia? They even brought in a new tactician. Right now they're celebrating, and they're saying we're number 2. We're number 2 at the log. Then you're saying their points to be deducted.
I'm talking of a Gor Mahia team that had issues, and then we are talking of a team that have improved. I think they're sitting fourth, not second. Yeah, second, because of they tie the points with City Stars, and Gor Mahia is them. Because Tusker is second, and then Kakamega Homeboys are leading the log. And Gor Mahia are thinking that this is a time they can change their season, maybe try to win the cup again. And then if I'm to talk about points deduction, this will hit them hard, and it will make them understand that football is a game that involves everyone. Football is not just a game that your fans think they are always right, and also the team does not condemn these acts in the strongest words possible, or rather, what are they doing to these people who started these skirmishes? So I think, that deduction of points will be a good thing, because it will make them feel the impact of what they are doing.
Indeed, when you look at right now, even Gor Mahia, as you also said, Kevin, Gor Mahia have been, facing a lot of issues, and right now this is not the time to even they should be playing low-key, and they maintain the second position until even until the end of the season.
Yeah, I think for Gor Mahia, they have been, in a position that we can't really explain, because for me, I will call them the kings of chaos. And for a team that, beside chaos, they are battling financial crisis. They still have, they have been banned. They can't buy players. And even what happened with Kenya now being suspended by the FIFA, then that means that Gor Mahia will not even buy another players on top of the ban. So for a team like Gor Mahia, they need to be, pull their tails, be calm, and try to work something, try to improve their squad right now, maintain that good caliber, have that good reputation, attract investors, for such a club that is right now in a state of disarray.
Indeed.
Yeah. So for me, I think Gor Mahia, they need prayers. And the possibility of point deduction might be something that is on the table, because there is FIFA. In FIFA, we have rules, and rules, they can't be meant or even broken for certain team. If they find to be the repercussion of those whatever they did to be, at high magnitude, then they should be deducted, or even they might even face a possibility of being, banned for probably a couple of or a number of matches. So right now, we don't know the fate of Gor Mahia, but I don't think if they're in a right place to, making those, I'll call them simple mistakes.
They are indeed simple and very silly mistakes. Gentlemen, let's cross over from matters Gor Mahia. Let's focus on something, I'd personally call it lack of professionalism, and just, it's basically unprofessionalism. Now, if you do remember, this particular week when Ulinzi Stars were playing, they did not apparently have a defibrillator in their ambulance. Now, for this, a defibrillator is quite important when anyone is experiencing a cardiac arrest, respiratory distress, or an obstructed airway. What do you think, gentlemen, for this? I mean, and remember, this isn't even the first time that this is happening for Ulinzi Stars. Let me start with you, Kevin.
Yeah. You've mentioned that issue again of Ulinzi Stars, and I was looking at it. I'm looking at a team that, in as much as you are playing in the Premier League, we expect it to be a team of caliber. Ulinzi Stars is a name. It is a strong household name that, if you mentioned, many people relate it with maybe good results even in the past, even producing good players. So when it comes to the equipment that should help the players when they get injured, you might, or even you might get hurt, you might have a heart cardiac arrest when you are playing. And then you are talking of the equipment lacking. What does that show? That shows that the interest of the club are not even on its players, because you must protect your player one. And remember, these players, they are dealing with a lot. You're talking of Kenyan players who maybe some will tell you on the day or during the day, I am a business person, and then in the evening I'm playing football. This is a person who is a provider. So we are talking of we've witnessed deaths in the field in the previous days, even in abroad. So I'm thinking that this was just an act. What should I call it? It is ignorance, and ignorance cannot even be ignored. And this is a matter that, if it's to be dealt with, it should be dealt with fully, because this is not the first time, as you've said. It's not the first time.
For me, I think it's negligence of highest order. I mean, Ulinzi is a team that, if you are talking about lacking, then that is the other case, totally different case. But for Ulinzi, a team like it's being supported by Kenya Defence Forces, so it's a team that, in terms of equipment and facilities, will expect them to have even more compared to other teams. Other teams like probably Gor Mahia and FC Leopards, that we know their history right now, they're in a financial crisis. But for Ulinzi, that is a negligence. So for me, I think probably they should be fired, those guys, for, that is something that you should not forget. It's very key and important aspect as far as the game is concerned, because you're talking about the life of players, and that is a simple aspect. And the management knows, the technical bench knows, the coaches knows, even the technical, the team, how do you call them? The health team, they know that is the most important thing, that you should have it, because it is your tool. You must guard it at all costs. So for me, they don't have an excuse. So that is something that they should, even get fired for that, because you're joking with the lives of players. Life is the most important thing, and you can't relive your life. So it's negligence, highest order.
And today's game, actually, Ulinzi Stars will be visiting Talanta. What do you think, Kevin, for that particular game? Do you think they'll bring their defibrillator today?
I hope you are not attacking Ulinzi Stars personally. But we're talking of Ulinzi Stars facing Talanta. And Ulinzi, I'm looking at them, and they are sitting 12th. I think they're still up and down. They're not even picked their form this season. So this is a game that many will even want to watch. Most of the journalists will want to see. Do Lindsay now bring this equipment this particular time, or are they continuing to ignore this? Because as he has mentioned, that is negligence, and I call it ignorance. And I think against Talanta, they should try and pick a result and maybe try to move up in the table, because these are a team that its potential, a team that is being funded by KDF, a team that has the quality of players that it can win you any match. Over to you.
For tomorrow's game, Gor Mahia versus Police. This for me, by the way, Kevin and Evans, this is a very interesting game for me, but because the last time both teams had a draw.
Yeah.
Then I'm calling this game the Serikal versus Serikal game. What do you Gor Mahia Police, Evans?
For me, I think it's a moment of redemption for Gor Mahia for the points that they lost against Kenya Police. Right now, Gor Mahia are in the I'll call it the best form with the new coach. With the new coach coming in, they have, ever since the new coach came in, they have won probably, is it 2 matches and drawn 1, the recent one that they played. So for this one, I'll root for Gor Mahia for the obvious reason they will win. Kenya Police haven't really, convinced me that they are up to the task. Probably we will test them next season. Right now, we know them as being the money bag. They have signed, quality players, but the chemistry is not working right now.
Indeed, and you're looking at, people like Clifton Miheso, Musa Mohammed, Elvis Rupia, Agina Shakava. Kevin, they even have a new stadium. And, Kenya Police right now just up and down, as you had mentioned.
Yeah, this is a game that I really expect a Gor Mahia team with the caliber of players you've mentioned to pick up a good result. Remember, I think we said that the repercussions that they had to face after the FKF committee first is playing on empty stadium. So I think they should try and take this chance or this opportunity and win this game. And like you've mentioned, we've expected Gor Mahia to be up in the table in the previous years. Talk of a team that wins league titles year after year. But look at them this season, sitting even fourth, and they're 11 points behind the league leaders. We are calling them Kakamega homeboys. So picking up a result today will be a thing that they should expect. We expect them to do, and I'm backing them for a win today.
Indeed. When you look at this is one question that I do love. I do love asking people, and I did ask Gijo last time. Francis Kahata, this is one key player, and he is in Kenya Police. Do you think that he's just in the wrong place? Yeah, well put. I think Kahata is a player who should not even be in that team. I'm not mocking that team, but I'm talking of Kahata, who is a player. We've seen him play even in the matches. Talk of when Kenya is competing. So I think Kahata is in the wrong place. I think he should even have stick with Gor Mahia or even look for a team that maybe is picking up results. I think he just went there. Maybe he's tired, or even money drove him to join that team. We know his quality.
Okay. For me, I don't think if Kahata is in the wrong team, because I will give you a good example. Last season, if you were to have this discussion about Kakamega Homeboys, nobody would have knew like Kakamega will today be on the top of Kenyan Premier League table right now. So for me, I think we are talking about a team that was just recently promoted to the Premier League. So they are assembling their best asset right now, and they're preparing for the bigger war. So for me, I think this is a team that we should watch it very carefully, especially next season, with the type of players that they have bought. And the way let's say the administration of the club is investing in that team, I think this will be a force to reckon in the coming future, or even in the coming years. So for me, I think it's just in the right place. But right now, the chemistry is not working because these are new players assembled from different clubs, and now they are brought together. And the coach and the entire technical bench are trying to look for a formula to try and inject in the club so that the players can, pick up with the momentum and pace, and they're bought in the idea of the coach. So let's just give them time, and I'm sure probably we'll have this discussion next time about same team, Kenya Police.
And probably Kevin will be saying, you know what, maybe Kahanta was in the right place. Gentlemen, time is really flying, and I hope my director can give me a few seconds to hear what these gentlemen have to say on the English Premier League. Obviously, for Manchester United. Kevin, are you a Manchester United fan?
Obviously, that's why I'm wearing the jersey.
Thank you, Kevin. At least we now have it's 2 versus 1. Even Soma, he's a very loyal Chelsea fan, so I'll keep this brief. Kevin, for you, the Manchester United versus Tottenham game today, what are your predictions?
I'm looking at both teams that I will say you don't know which team will turn up. I look at a Tottenham Hotspur team that can beat you 5-0 on a good day and even lose 1-0 to Burnley. Talk of a United team that can lead in the first half and then concede in the second half like they were not even there. Talk of a team that is losing concentration. And then you look at a team that even the team chemistry, or we feel like the tactics of the coach are not even working right now. So this particular game will be a crucial one. It's no longer a crucial fixture. You remember in the past, a Man United or Spurs fixture would attract many people. But right now we are talking of teams playing. People are saying they are playing mediocre football. They are not even winning trophies in the past like 6 years. So I will go for a draw or a United win over 2-1.
Evans, Chelsea versus Newcastle. Despite the fact that despite the fact that Chelsea has everything going on in their team.
Chill. I have a comment. For me, I won't lie. I'll be very honest, and actually I like the way he has been so honest about the prediction. For me, if you ask me, I see disaster today.
I'm pretty sure you're going for the fact that he said mediocre football.
No, I'm rooting for Tottenham. Okay. Those guys will punish you.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Chelsea versus Newcastle as we wrap up this.
So for me, Chelsea versus Newcastle, for me, I will give it Chelsea. Despite the fact that right now, some might say they're not in the right form of mind with all these things that are happening right now. But I think they have proven to be a team that they can work under pressure. And for me, I know the boys will not disappoint us. So for me, it's Chelsea win.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, gentlemen, for having this discussion with me. Evans, our sports band is Kevin Benson coming to you live from Zoom, somewhere in Kahauskare, I believe. Thank you, gentlemen. My name is Stanley Nyuringita. Time is really flying. My director has been Drax. Thank you very much. Major Minor also on sound. Thank you also, Levin Demoto on technicals. Thank you, Mshila on matters graphics. See you another day. Have a good day.